What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So the new V-Jump is out and finally we got some more information. I have been waiting for what seems like a month for this info to come out around the Yu-Gi-Oh! 6 series, and we've got a whole bunch of new information when it comes to the new anime, including the name. We now know what Yosaku's new boss monster is going to be. We know what his transformation is going to look like, how the duels are going to take place, just a whole bunch of information. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with the name of the show, which sadly I'm not sure that I actually know how to pronounce. It says right here on YG Organization that it's pronounced like trains or brains, but with a V. So when I first read it, I assumed that it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, but you know, obviously the V was silent. So like trains doesn't really make any sense unless rank 10 is like secretly, maybe rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like secretly the villain of the show and his boss monster is like, you know, Super Dreadnought Dora or something like that. That could be a possibility. Who knows what he's doing? Or maybe it's brains, which I guess could make a little more sense because, you know, if these duels are taking place in like VR and cyberspace, basically, I'm thinking maybe he puts on some type of headset and then he travels into like the digital, you know, virtual reality dueling world, and that's how he duels people. Think basically if you guys have ever seen like the show Dot Hack, the anime, or if you guys have ever seen like the anime Sword Art Online, I'm thinking that the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is going to be similar to that, and maybe it's like use your brain because it's VR. That can kind of make sense. Now, what does definitely make sense is the fact that VR is in the title. The first two letters of the show are obviously VR because it appears all the duels for, well, I don't think all the duels, but a majority of the duels are going to take place in virtual reality. We also know what Yosaku's new ace monster is going to be, or I like to call it boss monster, and it's going to be Decode Talker, which is this guy right here. Honestly, when I first saw the card, I was like, it kind of looks a little Utopia to me. I mean, which is, that's kind of because I'm thinking when you look at the other 5 protagonists and you think of like Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Utopia, Stardust, Neos, or Dark Magician, like those cards look vastly different from like any of the other ones. Like none of them look remotely similar. And you have, I guess this is Decode Talker right here, and he does kind of have the black and yellow armor, which kind of reminds me of Utopia, and then he's got like the gigantic sword, which kind of reminds me of the Utopia. So it appears that he's kind of like this virtual reality knight, where Utopia was kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Space knight. Now I know some people are probably going to be turned off by the whole, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! And VR or Yu-Gi-Oh! And cyberspace, but you got to think, guys, they pretty much do kind of want to have like a new theme for each show. You know, we've already had Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, which was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. We had Yu-Gi-Oh! In the ghetto, basically, which was like Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. We had Yu-Gi-Oh! In space, which was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. So it's like, you know, why can't we have Yu-Gi-Oh! In the internet? I'm thinking again that this show is going to be very similar to, it's going to kind of feel maybe like Sword Art Online, where he goes to high school and stuff like that. But then when he gets home and he's ready to just like mess around, he puts on his headset and bam, he travels into like the VR cyberspace world, and that's where he duels people. They also did confirm that, yeah, the whole hoverboard thing is real. This was not a prank, guys. He is actually, I don't know if he's necessarily going to duel on the hoverboard, but he actually is going to be used. I'm thinking that he's going to use that to like travel, to like find other people or to get to his destinations and whatnot. Now, this character right here, they say is mysterious, and we have no idea what this character or who he or she actually is. What I'm thinking is, I'm thinking that this could be a situation kind of like Yuma and Astro, where basically this is going to be like a guy that helps him, because I mean, it seems a little early to kind of reveal like a villain. Like if this was a bad guy, he doesn't appear to be like, I don't know, he doesn't seem to be that terrifying. So I'm thinking like this could be his goofy sidekick. And I think that Yosaku's transformation looks so fucking badass. If you guys haven't noticed, obviously he looks a lot different when he's dueling in the VR Yu-Gi-Oh! World, as opposed to when he looks, you know, just kind of in high school. You see right here, and I already thought his high school get up was pretty cool. I thought it was clean and sleek, the way he had like the suit on, the whole, you know, preppy high school suit, and he had the blue and pink hair, which is obviously my favorite 2 colors. But dude, this is like that Super Saiyan shit. He's got the half pink, half yellow. I think that looks so sick. I think that looks way better than this. I don't know, maybe it's just the whole Dragon Ball Z thing, and then it's like pink, which is obviously one of my favorite colors. So I think it looks really cool. And honestly, His suit kind of reminds me of Tron, which is cool too. I don't know. I feel like this show will have maybe even a little bit of elements of like Tron and stuff like that. If you guys like things like Tron and Sword Art Online and Dot Hack, I think you'll probably be into this show. But let me know what you guys think. That's really the important thing. I have to say I am actually very excited about the 6th Yu-Gi-Oh anime series, and that's a little bit of a strange feeling for me because generally I don't watch the anime. I did see a lot of the original, obviously, as a teenager. That's what got me into the show, and I've pretty much seen all of Arc V, but the 3 series in the middle, I've basically haven't seen any of those, although I am going backwards and now watching those shows. But I am very excited about this. Everything so far that I have seen, other than maybe the design of the Ace monster, which I don't know, it feels a little too Buster Blader meets Utopia. Actually, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe he looks a little too much like Buster Blader and not like Utopia, because the whole like black and yellow, like that kind of reminds me a little bit of Buster Blader. So maybe it's Buster Blader that I'm thinking of and not Utopia, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a brand new card to me. It feels like kind of a variation of an older card, and that's a little bit of a shame, but I absolutely love the design of Yosaku over here, and I like the concept of dueling kind of in virtual reality. I like the whole Tron Sword Art Online feel. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you going to watch the show? Are you going to check it out? Does it look a little too weird for you? Are you maybe going to watch a couple of episodes and see how it is? Whatever that is, just leave it below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.